We're taking everything that we've learned till now in my 30-year career to create a very special place for Clayton. Welcome to Celebration Playground, celebrating the differences that make all children special. As you know, Celebration Playground is located at East Clayton Park. So it will be an area that has all kinds of folks here. Sports are going to take place, there's a dog park, and we're going to have this wonderful playground located in the center of the park. Now I want to talk to you about how we developed what we did. There are 3 areas of Celebration Playground, all designed to have very, very different experiences. Those experiences that have culminated from all the different work that we've done over these many years. So I'm going to describe each area and how important each is in the development of children, the confidence that children gain, the mobility, the strength, and the fun. The first section as you enter is called Celebrate. And the Celebrate section has a gateway entrance you'll see on the lower right-hand side to celebrate that you are coming into a special area. The primary color is red so that children can identify, even children who cannot read or have limited visibility will be able to know exactly where they want to be. Celebrate is the highest activity area. It has an elevated fort structure, a rock wall at the fort structure, a ball drop wall, elevated bridge, climbing ledge, tube slide from elevated fort structure, a jungle mister because all children have to have water, all children need dirt because it makes mud, water fountain, benches, tables, and rubberized surfacing for all the paths in the fall zone so that we have safe children who feel confident in pushing their own limits, because that is a very, very important part of growth and development. And this shows you the entryway, and we have talked a lot about how we celebrate the community as it gives to Celebration Playground. And we've talked about the gateway with the names of all the donors located on the tiles as you come through that space. And here shows the walkway that climbs up to the fort. The thing that excites us a whole lot is if you go to the North Carolina Zoo and you see the Kids Zone playground, you will see a ramp that goes up to a high elevation that is barrier-free. That is where the idea comes from, is to have an area where children can walk side by side with another child in a wheelchair, their best friend, their brother, their sister, and everybody is going to be at the top of that fort. And here is the top of the fort, and it shows that we have climbing walls. One of my most fun parts of this is any of you who are my age remember Mousetrap. The idea on this side is that there are children on top who are dropping balls that are creating mechanisms that move till the ball drops to the bottom. And then there's a pulley to put the balls back on the top. As much as we may laugh about that being just a fun, simple play, imagine the child who's in a wheelchair that the mobility specialist is saying, please, I want you to strengthen your upper body. And they won't do anything in therapy. Watch them build upper body strength and have fun and never know it. Watch the next time they go to the therapist pulling up and how much stronger they are, and they don't even remember why they got stronger. This is the fun part of learning. And now we'll talk about the area in blue called Create. The Create area is anchored by a craft house in the center of an elevated area that's surrounded by sand and mud pits and ledges for play. This is my favorite part because this is the area you get really dirty. It has a blue gateway entrance You saw the red. This would have a blue gateway entrance that identifies those who are the benefactors. It has a water spigot and a water trough for play. And we would even have an area where the water drops to the ground where children in wheelchairs can get their feet wet. That is a very overlooked sensory experience. We not only want hands that are splashing in the trough, we want feet that are playing in water in ways that they have not been able to experience before. We'd have benches and tables for crafts. Classes can come out here. The size of it, I can easily see different classes coming out here and enjoying this. Everything barrier-free and accessible. Rubberized surfacing, a sand pit area, a sand ledge. And one of the things we really like, and this being the craft house, is there would also be a bird blind in the back. So one of the tasks or one of the crafts, for example, is in the craft house, you build the bird houses and the bird feeders. And then you're able to see the habitat that the birds live in and the accomplishment, the confidence that you gain from learning that skill and understanding that others are benefiting from it. And this shows the water and shows in the background the elevated platforms for the forts to the adjacent. All these areas are interconnected. And now I want to talk to you about Contemplate, because one of the things that has been wonderful, and I like to say this and I genuinely mean it, all children are exceptional. All children learn differently. I would love for the labels to go away. And every space that we design, as you can see from the first two areas of Celebrate and Create, allow different experiences for different children at their own pace. The area of Contemplate is one that is very important and very dear to me. Contemplate is for children who need and want the safety of the quiet time and the ability to learn at a level and a pace that they feel comfortable with. The other thing is this is a space where caregivers and parents learn to be comfortable in these outdoor spaces and to share in that experience and development with children who sometimes, some parents are unfortunately afraid to bring them to public spaces. So if we look at the Contemplate area, we have a gently walking swing bridge over a stream symbolizing water. We have a stone stream bed with a water bubbler that actually would come up to a wheelchair, the base of a wheelchair. It also has a wall of water where from a wheelchair your hand can come up and gently touch the water. It's not loud. None of this is loud. It is also a choice. All the areas in Contemplate are choices that caregivers and choices that parents can make of what experiences they want their child to have. If you look at the area in the upper right where you see the ladybugs with the pull-up, one of the things that gets underestimated is we see children, if we do not know better, we see children in wheelchairs and we think that's their world. That's not their world. And the ability and the confidence of parents and children to be able to get out of the wheelchair and crawl and be able to go to these pull-up areas and pull themselves up, and the accomplishment of being at the top and the accomplishment of not being judged. This is a wonderful environment for being able to do that. And this shows the swinging bridge and shows how quiet the area is. We would have tubular chimes that are shown behind, which are low resonating sound. I cannot wait to work with a musician in the Clayton area that can help us come up with the sounds, the tubular sounds that will benefit this. The gentle flags that we have there, the idea is that a child can pull a pulley and the flags will gently move. One of the things that we don't think about is some children are in inclining wheelchairs. So part of the world that they don't see is this view that we're all seeing. So part of the reason that we created the flags and a lot of things that are high is that some children are in a reclining position, and we want them to benefit from these spaces just as much as the other kids are. And it really requires all of us to look through their eyes and see the world the way they see it. And here's another view, looking at this area set off by itself, a little bit more private, a tent area to feel enclosure and safety. And this shows an area where the bubbler would be. And finally, in closing, what I would hope for all of us tonight is that we commit, and I ask, commit with us in creating the smartest, healthiest, and happiest playground for Clayton. Thank you.
Celebration Park playground is just, this is incredible. And the reason it's incredible is because it affords people a space not just to go to, but to be wanted. And I say that, Julian, our son, we've been on a journey with him in this world of autism for quite a while. He's now 21, and he was diagnosed at age 4. And so my lovely wife, Martina, and I, and our other son, Jared, who is neurotypical, of course, I don't know how neurotypical an 18-year-old boy is, but that's what we'll call him. He's a wonderful brother to Julian, and he's a freshman in college right now. So we've all been on this journey together. And there's so many things that we have learned from Julian, and one of the things I tell audiences all the time is one of the biggest things I have learned from him, because it is, again, that's another thing too. This is a two-way street. It's just not us helping, reaching down, helping, and making the way better for them. We actually can learn from them. We just need to be aware of the opportunities. And I learned really about courage from my son. When he was getting into high school, he was going to a big school in Durham, the Durham School of the Arts. And you must understand that Julian, though he is 21 years of age, there are aspects of his personality that are very much in line with that of an 8-year-old. And they probably will be like that for a long time. Matter of fact, right now, as we speak, he is at home watching the Disney animated movie Frozen, and he's probably watched it at least 6 times today. And he does it almost every day. He loves Disney animated movies and animals. That's his thing. So when he got into high school, I would take him to school every day, and I would watch him walk into the school. And I counted the steps. There were 35 steps he took from the car to the door. And he would turn and smile and wave and go in. Now, you got to understand, he's on the higher end of the spectrum. So he's not more severely challenged where he would be in a sequestered classroom, you know, where he's in the one-off classrooms. So, frankly, the school systems, the public school systems are still trying to figure out how to deal with people, young people like him. So when he would go into that school every day, he had no friends. He ate lunch with a teacher every day. There were things the other kids did that he was never a part of. But every day, he would come home smiling and get up and try it again. And I figured, if my son can address a world not designed with him in mind, then I have no excuse. So, forgive me, but I love him. He's my kid. So I learned that from him. And Martina and I have learned so many things from Julian. So many things. Thank you. We have learned so many things from him. And I say that about a world not designed for him because this is, you know, it's designed for him and for anyone else who doesn't fit our mode of what should be. He will love this place. Absolutely love it. I can tell you now, when he goes in the Celebration Playground, every part of it will remind him of a Disney animated movie. And he will quiz us on it. He will say, Dad, Mom, what does this remind you of? And we both know when we look at each other, we're getting a trap. This is a trap. Because what we've learned is, what does it remind you of, Julian? The Beauty and the Beast castle. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So he'll do that with this place. And the contemplate area is really great because for him, when he's stressful, and a good way for him to release stuff is for him to get outside. He loves to go out, but he loves water. We were at the beach one day on vacation, and we had an oceanfront condo. And we were inside, and Julian sat outside on the balcony just looking at the ocean, hours on end. Just loved it. And so for him, and for people like him, being outside and being in a place where you can feel comfortable and just kind of release, it makes all the difference in the world. And so this is going to be such a special place. Julian is going to absolutely love it. And again, I like the fact that it's part of a larger facility because I am telling you, the other people that come there, like us, neurotypicals, will learn a lot from these very special people when we meet them on a level playground. Thank you, and please continue this work.